The phrase, "you can't have your cake and eat it too," is a wonderful remark on the preferential nature of gratification. We often choose paths of conflict that will maximize our sense of psychological satisfaction. Our visual admiration of the subtle architecture and aesthetic of a wedding cake fulfills us in a wholly different way than the flavors we taste while eating it. To admire the cake's flavors, one must destroy the cake's design. It's either one or the other, never both. The cake analogy works surprisingly well in real life, but how tethered should we feel to it when entering the realm of fiction? In the final act of the 2019 horror comedy Ready or Not, we're presented with a profound answer to this question. Grace is an orphaned, good-natured bride-to-be. On her wedding day, she anxiously ruminates about her new in-laws. The Ladomas are snobbishly rich and flamboyantly honest with one another. There's clear, disdainful relationships within the family unit. Horrible thoughts that, in a normal family, would be concealed are said outright.
You could have done so much better.
You're just saying that because he's your favorite.
Oh, please. I love all of you equally.
Don't take it personally. They're just trying to figure out if you're a gold-digging whore. You know, like my wife.
Strangely, the wedding scenes don't feature any cake whatsoever. A fact that made me question writing this video at all.
It's a beautiful cake.
Finally!
Case, wow.
Fuck!
Traditionally, marriage is one of life's most important decisions. Two people choose to forego the selfishly gratifying single lifestyle for a more permanent, meaningful fulfillment. There's admittedly numerous degrees of choice that go along with matrimony, though. For Alex, the groom, the choice of gratification on this day is framed differently. He harbors a lingering familial resentment, and the disconnect between him and his relatives is exacerbated by Grace.
But she'll never be one of us.
Of course not, dear. She has a soul.
Should he submit and conform to the wishes of his family, or lustfully pursue his steamy relationship with Grace? Unfortunately, circumstance thrusts him into a crossroads. The Ladoma fortune is the product of an insane tradition. Long ago, it's told that one of their forefathers gambled on a game with Satan. After defeating the devil, all of the Ladoma descendants inherited success and prosperity, with one caveat. Anytime a newcomer weds into the family, they must play a game of the devil's choosing.
It says hide and seek. Are we really going to play that?
On the rare occasion when hide and seek is selected, the relatives must hunt and ritualistically sacrifice the welcomed newlywed before dawn. Should they fail to capture the inductee, the Ladoma dynasty will meet an untimely demise.
When you marry into this family, you have to play a game. And if you don't, you die. I know that sounds crazy, but you have to believe me. It is real.
Doubt is woven into the fabric of Ready or Not masterfully. Grace, and by extension the audience, never witnesses any concrete evidence of a supernatural curse. The Ladomas only ever offer a bizarre family heirloom with mysterious mechanical inner workings. Remember, Grace is an orphan, so she embodies a natural ignorance of family customs. Early on, she sought only to conform to her new in-laws and was genuinely optimistic about having a family to call her own.
You really understood how important it was for me to finally have a real, permanent family.
Even at the outset of the game, Grace anxiously engages with it in good spirit. She picks a rather competitive hiding spot, considering her wedding dress, but while sitting alone, anxiously bites her nails and verbalizes her perceived awkwardness.
How was your wedding night, Grace? Oh, it was just great, just great. I sat in a dumbwaiter.
Yet even with her desire to fit the mold, she is sane enough to recognize the insanity unfolding around her.
You said your family was fucked up. You didn't say psycho. It's insane. Can't you see it's insane? No one's gonna die. No one is gonna die.
Of course, that probably has something to do with Grace being the only subject of their murderous intent. Simultaneously, the story spends an abnormal amount of time with some of the relatives. Fitch Bradley, for example, finds himself in an embarrassingly relatable situation when he realizes he has no idea how to operate his weapon of choice.
Mount your early, and
In fact, just about all of these homicidal maniacs have their own level-headed rationale.
You don't know how grateful we are that you brought Alex back to us. But please, try to bring him back into the fold.
You know where I came from and what my life was like before. I'd rather be dead than lose all of this.
We all deserve to die.
My kids don't.
I'm weak.
A deliberate choice was made to characterize and empathetically motivate our villains in this manner. Ordinarily, a story would maximize time with its protagonist for efficiency. Here, the writers even incorporate a meta-joke about how a lesser horror script would have made these antagonists faceless killing machines.
At least you're not making us wear those fucking masks.
Oh, that was Dad's idea. It was the 80s.
Ready or Not balances the protagonist-antagonist motivations on a fragile fulcrum. At no point are we ever rooting for the Ladomas, but subconsciously, a dramatic question is slithering itself into our minds. We understand where these villains are coming from. They're relatable. Normal people can't go this batshit, right? How could they possibly get swept up into this? Are they crazy, or is there actually more going on here? The brutality with which they hunt Grace is deserving of an equally violent reprisal. But what if a bigger fuck you to the Ladomas is shattering their grandiosity? Coveting the look on their faces when they realize this tradition they've defined themselves by and have killed for is nothing more than a farce. Man, would it be better to have this cake or to eat this cake? Whether the curse is real or not, we're geared up for a satisfying payoff. Just before dawn, Grace is captured and restrained in preparation for her sacrifice to Satan. Alex has eaten the cake, so to speak, choosing his desire to rekindle a connection with his family over Grace. As a callback to her initial anxiety to conform, Grace manages to escape their clutches by digging her chewed nails into one of her captors. Ready or Not reaches its climax as the light of dawn shines its way through a window. The Ladomas have failed, and the dramatic question is answered in glorious fashion.
It is lost. Forgive us.
They're totally batshit insane. It's laughable watching everyone pathetically cower in fear and then return to decency as they slowly realize the implications of their survival. The ultimate reward is the reaction of Tony Ladoma, the father. Traditionally, a patriarch is tasked with continuing cultural lineage. His genuine confusion and aimless silence speaks volumes to the corruption of this ancestral archetype. Our appetite isn't yet fully satisfied. In this scene, the Ladomas have a chance to redeem themselves. Their confusion allows just enough time for them to consider the fate of Grace, who stands distraught and bloodied after the game from hell. She won. Should they finally accept her into the family? Let her go?
What should we do about her?
I know it is too late, but I will not fail you again. The girl still dies!
Admittedly, that might have been a hard sell for her. Again, they choose violence, but this time without fear of punishment guiding their hand. Grace stands vindicated, proving their insanity, but is still in danger and will need a satisfying resolution. We've had our cake, but now it's time to eat it.
What the fuck?
Who wants to play a game? It's time for hide and seek.
Vengeance, at last. Satan's curse is real, and the Ladomas violently meet their end. See, Ready or Not subtly conditioned its audience to expect one of these two outcomes. Taken alone, either of them would have been satisfying, but this best of both worlds approach is what truly makes this story stand out. Too often, life doesn't work this way, but there's no rules in fantasy except for the ones that you choose to focus on. Watching a bride bloodily murder her new family for survival isn't exactly an exercise in critical thinking. A film like Ready or Not is meant to entertain, so why not indulge our desire to have cake and eat it too?
I want a divorce.
Hey guys, happy Halloween. I was trying to get this video out on Halloween, and I failed horribly, as you can tell. This movie stuck out really prominently in my mind, but that being said, I'm sure there's other movies that allow you to have your cake and eat it too. So if you have any that you know of, let me know in the comment section. I'd be interested to see them. I've been wanting to make a video essay like this for a while, but I feel like I've progressed so far in my stand-up and talk in front of the camera videos that I wanted the production of this to showcase everything that I've learned, even though it's a completely different format. So please comment below and let me know your feedback. I need to hear it. Was there anything annoying? How was my voiceover performance? Were the graphics too in your face? Credit to this video goes to Matt Atkinson, who commented on one of my videos below and said that you should just focus in on one scene and kind of dissect what makes it really good. So props to you, Matt. Thanks for doing that. If you like what I'm doing here, please go down below and subscribe and like the video. It really helps me out in the algorithm. If enough of you do that, then maybe I can start doing this full time. A man can dream. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.